Myself, my name is Sharon. I'm with a company called the Pampered Chef. Has anyone never been to a Pampered Chef party before? Are there any virgins in the room? We've all been? Okay. To tell you a little bit about the company, it got started. The Pampered Chef got started 33 years ago. I got involved 16 years ago. I had two little kids at home. I was looking for a part-time job. You go into an office or a store, maybe they offer you $10, $15 an hour. I average anywhere from $75 to $100 an hour doing this. You can do it one night a week. You can do it 5 nights a week. It's your own business. You don't answer to anyone. If you would open up to page 3 in the catalog, those are the 2 kits that we offer. You can actually start your business for $159, and that kit has $580 worth of products. If you do one show for your mother, your sister, or your best friend, and you decide you don't like it, you'll make back in that night's commission what you invested, and if you don't like it, the Pampered Chef lets you keep everything. So I always say the worst thing that could happen to you is you fill your kitchen with $580 worth of products really for nothing. And then to those people that say, I have everything, Sharon, why do I have to buy the kit? We now offer a mini kit for $80. You can start a business for $80, and that kit has $225 worth of products. Do one show, you're going to make back twice what you invested. If you don't like it, again, you keep everything. So I know the last thing you were thinking about when you were driving here tonight was finding a job, but the honest-to-God truth is it's the best thing that we offer in the catalog. So I invite you to watch what I do. I guarantee you can do the exact same thing. So before we get started, I want to thank Laura. Yay, Laura! For inviting me into her home. This happens to be a fundraiser for Make-A-Wish, and I thank all of you for coming out. But normally when people host a show, my average hostess gets about $200 in free products of her choice. It's not like some of the other companies where they say, here's your gift, thanks for having me. Laura would get to shop like all of you and get free products. She would get up to 4 items, any 4 items in the catalog at 50% off. She would then get up to 30% off the whole book if she wants, and then there's always a monthly host special. So I always say by the time I get done with you, you need an extension added onto your kitchen. That's how much you get for free by being a Pampered Chef hostess. Okay, so before we get started, inside the catalog is an order form. If you would be kind enough to fill that out, and girls, it does ask for your email address. I swear to you, you will not need a restraining order taken out against me. If you give me your email address, once a month I generate a newsletter with some recipes and specials. So if you give me your email address, that's what I'll do with that. And ladies, also, all the way down on the bottom of the catalog, at the bottom of the order form, it says Roundup. The Pampered Chef is the largest supporter, one of the largest supporters of Feeding America. We have donated to date over $20 million, and it's the food bank right here in Hop Hog. It's not like, across the country. So unless you tell me not to, I automatically round up every order to the nearest dollar. If you don't want me to, just put a line through it. But just so you know, $1 is 8 meals for Feeding America. So even if we round up 50 cents, that's a lot of meals for a lot of hungry people. So that's what I will do with that. And also a little quick tip before I get started. As I talk about the products, I will always tell you the name of them. If you're the least bit interested in anything I show you, write it down. At least this way at the end of the night, you're not going to say, what was that first thing she showed us? If you want to get it, it'll be there. If not, feel free to cross it out. I don't care how messy it is. Okay, so tonight we're making a focaccia bread and a chocolate molten lava cake with vanilla ice cream. Laura was kind enough to get the pizza dough. I find that the pizzeria dough works better than the bakery or the supermarket dough. I just feel like it tastes more like real pizza. But I will tell you that what I did was I rolled it out with the Pampered Chef's baker's roller. I love this because it's one easy grip handle. If you have that old-fashioned wooden roller at home, it's so awkward, especially if the kids want to help. This is one handle. The long end is great for rolling out dough. The short end is great if you're a baker. Girls tell me they use it for wallpaper border. Kids use it for Play-Doh, but it is the dough roller, the baker's roller. And the next thing I'm going to show you is our garlic press. Girls, for any of you that have it, you know this is the best garlic press because you don't peel the skin of the garlic. You stick the whole clove in with the skin on. The first crack that you hear is the skin breaking. And I love this because it holds the large pieces of garlic, and the skin comes right off. If you don't ever want to touch it and smell like garlic, it actually comes with a little blue scooper, and you could lift the skin right off and never, ever make contact with the garlic. But I'm going to use 3 cloves for the focaccia bread. And the next thing I'm going to show you is the Pampered Chef's pastry brush. I love this brush because many of you may have that old-fashioned pastry brush at home where you shed a bristle on the steak, on the barbecue. That will never happen with this because it is silicone. It doesn't harbor bacteria. It will never shed a bristle. I love that it's dishwasher safe, and I also love that it has a little hook. So you know if you marinate with a spoon, the spoon always falls in the bowl? Well, this hook will keep the pastry brush on the side of the bowl. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to smear the garlic around so you all smell exactly the same when you go home tonight. And then I want to show you something else on the line of garlic. Everybody loved the garlic press, but there were a lot of people that said, I don't like my garlic press. A lot of people like to stand there with a little sharp knife and slice their garlic paper thin. This past year, the Pampered Chef came out with the garlic peeler and slicer. The way this works is you take your fresh piece of garlic, a few of them, you stick it in the tube. You roll it on the kitchen counter. I think it's from the friction of your hand, but the skin comes off. You take your clean pieces of garlic and you dump them right in the slicer, 1, 2, 4, 5, whatever you need. And all you do is like a pepper mill. You just twist it, and look how amazing the garlic comes out paper thin. Remember the movie Goodfellas, the scene with the garlic? That's exactly what this is. And this is not just for garlic. You can put chocolate in here, fresh ginger in here, but this is the garlic slicer. If you buy your garlic fresh, you need the garlic. Take a look at this. Paper thin.
I never saw that before.
You don't have it.
I don't have
That's
that.
amazing that you don't have this,
I know.
Alicia.
I
Okay.
know that.
We found something that Alicia doesn't have.
How much is that?
So it comes in a set, but what I was going to say to you is, if you buy your garlic clean, you don't need the peeler. You would only need the slicer. If you buy your garlic fresh, you need both of them, and they come as a set at a discount. I'll help you find it in the catalog after it's over, but I love it.
That's a great idea.
Great
You
idea.
can use that for Parmesan cheese, too.
No, that we have a cheese grater for that I'm going to show you. That you can use for your garlic, you can use that for chocolate, you can use that for ginger, and I'll show you the cheese grater in 2 seconds. And then, girls, the next thing I'm going to demo is the Pampered Chef's mandolin. Before you girls got here, I went ahead and I used the mandolin to slice up a bunch of the plum tomatoes for the focaccia bread. This takes the place of that stainless steel grater that you or your moms may have had at home when you'd grate off the tips of your knuckles. This does the same thing and more. This comes with 4 blades. The blade I have in here now is the V-shaped blade that I use for the tomatoes, but it also comes with a cheese blade. It also comes with a crinkle cut blade. Maybe you want to make a fancy crudité platter. You want to make your vegetables look pretty. It also comes with a blade that has an adjustment for thicknesses. Maybe you want to make eggplant parmesan and you like it thin and you like it thick. You set that blade. You open up the stand and you pop on the holder. And what's nice about this is you put on whatever you're slicing, and you're never going to ever slice off the tip of your finger because you're using the holder. And as you get down to the bottom, you push the button, and look how gorgeous. Every piece of tomato looks exactly the same. There's no blood. The knuckles are intact. It's a beautiful thing. I will tell you that Williams-Sonoma has something very similar to this, well over $100. It's stainless steel, big deal. Ours does the exact same thing. This is $65. It's one of our more expensive items. If you cook in your kitchen, it will cut down on your prep time tremendously. But there were a lot of people that said, don't you have something that just slices? I don't need all the other fancy blades. So how smart is the Pampered Chef? This past year, they came out with the simple slicer. So if you're looking for something that simply slices, this would be perfect for you. This has 1 blade. It works on a slide, 1 being the thinnest, 3 being the thickest. It also has a holder. You can stick on potatoes, sweet potatoes, eggplant, vegetables, and all you do is slice. And again, it comes right out of here. The knuckles are intact, no blood involved. It's a beautiful thing. So depending upon what kind of cook you are in the kitchen, if you're more of a novice, the simple slicer might be for you. If you're really great in the kitchen, the mandolin will be a tremendous help. I love the mandolin, but again, this is half price. So depending upon what you're looking for, I love choices. And now you have a choice. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the tomatoes out on the dough. And just so you know, this is not a pizza. What makes this a focaccia bread is the fresh tomatoes. When my kids were little, they wouldn't go near this. They only liked it the old-fashioned way with sauce and cheese, which you can certainly do. But in your own home, I want you to be creative. Clean out your vegetable drawer. Mushrooms, peppers, onions. You can make a broccoli pizza, a marinara pizza, a white pizza. If you have leftover chicken cutlet, make a chicken palm pizza. If you have grilled chicken, use some Monterey Jack cheese, some jalapeno peppers. You can make a Mexican pizza. Be creative. We're going to add 2 cups of shredded mozzarella. And we're always going to cook pizza on the bottom rack of the oven at 400 degrees. Pizza cooks the best on the bottom rack. And girls, whenever you think it's done, it probably has another 10 minutes. The mistake that people make with pizza is they tend to pull it out when the cheese melts. You want it to be nice and golden brown, and I'll show you what it should look like. That'll make sure your dough is nice and crispy. And the next thing we're going to do, girls, is we're going to use the rotary grater. I took a hunk of Parmesan cheese, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grate the cheese right on top. And what I love about this rotary grater is if you are a lefty, this handle swings to the other side, so it's as easy for a lefty to use as it is for a righty. I also love that you can put a hunk of chocolate in here. Grate on the top of the cake, a handful of nuts. Some woman told me she puts lifesavers in and she lets her kids decorate sugar cookies, so it's so much more than just a cheese grater. So that's the rotary grater, and when I was making the chocolate martinis, I used our microplane grater to grate some cheese on the top of the to grate some chocolate on the top of the martinis. The microplane grater will make your cheese like dust. If you watch Rachel Ray, she always uses a microplane. A lot of people prefer their cheese very, very fine. That's the microplane. We also have in the catalog a very coarse grater. A lot of people like their cheese very coarse, and we have a very thin microplane grater. So we actually have 4 different graters in the catalog, depending upon how you like your cheese. And the very last thing we're going to add to the focaccia bread is a little Italian seasoning. We sell an amazing line of seasonings and rubs. A rub just means you use a little olive oil first, but they're all natural, no preservatives. If you're still cooking with garlic powder and onion powder, change it up. You can cook chicken 4 nights a week. If you put a different seasoning or rub on it, it tastes like something completely different. If you cook a lot of chicken, we have amazing rubs and seasonings for the chicken: chipotle, southwestern, barbecue, chili lime. If you cook a lot of fish, we have great seasonings and rubs for fish, the same for beef and pork. So this is the Italian. We're going to pop this on. So literally, girls, there were 4 ingredients on this focaccia bread. And if you notice, I use no oil on here. The only juice is going to be from the fresh plum tomatoes. I'm going to have Laura put it in the bottom rack of the oven now.
Hop to it.
Hop to it, girl. And ladies, let me just show you, before this goes in the oven, this is our large bar pan. It's the cookie sheet, so to speak, with the lip, and I'm going to talk to you about the Stoneware. Okay. A couple of seconds, I want to tell you about the Pampered Chef Stoneware. People stop me all the time and they say, Sharon, why are the stones in Bed Bath & Beyond or the Home Place? Why are those stones $9.99? Why are the Pampered Chefs much more expensive? And I'm going to tell you why. The stones that you see out there for $9.99 are strictly pizza stones. Ours are baking stones. We have a large round pizza stone and we have a flat 12 by 15 rectangular. Think about all the things you used to cook on a flat cookie sheet. Whenever I used to make sugar cookies on an old-fashioned cookie sheet, I used to always burn the bottom of them. The same thing with crescent rolls. That will never happen on a stone. What happens with the stone is everything cooks evenly. Everything gets golden brown on the outside and juicy on the inside. You'll never find the outside well done and the inside ice cold. Everything will cook evenly. On those flat stones, what else can you make? If you have kids, chicken nuggets, mozzarella sticks, bagel bites, the Price Club hors d'oeuvres, appetizers, French fries, chicken cutlets. Instead of frying your cutlets, so unhealthy, dip them in Italian dressing and then breadcrumbs. When I'm trying to be good, I'll do Paul Newman's fat-free Italian dressing and then breadcrumbs. Lay them out on the stone. They crisp up because of the dressing. You don't have to turn them. It's so much healthier than frying them. But I always say I love the bar pan the best, and I'm going to tell you why. If you are making something like meat or fish and it drips, the flat stone, you're going to run into a problem. But on the bar pan, not only can you make the pizza that I just made, but you can do your pork chops on there. You can do your meatloaf on there. I'll do chicken parts, shake and bake on there. I'll buy the big piece of salmon at Costco and make my salmon on there. I make my Chilean sea bass on the bar pan, tilapia. I make my fish, my beef, my chicken, my pork. I'll also make my appetizers on there, my French fries, my hors d'oeuvres, a double box of brownies, grilled vegetables. I'll cut up broccoli, cauliflower, eggplant. I'll drizzle some olive oil, salt and pepper, 425 degrees on the bar pan. You get the burnt crispy broccoli and the grilled vegetables. So that large bar pan you'll get the most use out of because it's your meat, your fish, your chicken, your appetizers, your vegetables. It was such a hot seller, they have the little one for the toaster oven. Maybe you live alone or it's just you and your husband, or you have small kids at home and you want to make maybe 2 pork chops or 2 salmon fillets and you don't want to light the oven and use the big one. You'll get the same effect on the little one in the toaster oven. Or on that little one you can do a couple of chicken nuggets. So girls, you'll also see in the catalog we have all different shapes and sizes, whether you live alone or have a family of 10. Our biggest stone is our big rectangular baker. That's the one you're going to use for your lasagna. That's the stone you're going to use for your brisket with potatoes and carrots. You're going to use that for your turkey breast. You'll also see in there a small baker. You can make your hot dip in there, your spinach dip, your artichoke dip. You'll also see in there a stoneware pie plate. Maybe you're a baker. The pies come out amazing in the stone. Golden brown on the outside, juicy on the inside. And girls, the reason we are here tonight and the stone that is going to change your life and rock your world is this one. This happens to be our deep covered baker. But before I tell you about this stone, I want to tell you about the outside. If you notice, this stone has the glazed ceramic finish on the outside, and let me tell you why. If you're not familiar with the stoneware, the more you use them, the darker they get. Mine at home are black. They start out like this, and then they get very seasoned. Mine is very, very dark. That's a good thing. The worse it looks, the better it cooks. But a lot of people felt that when that happened, they were ugly. And if they had a holiday table, they didn't want to bring them to the table all discolored. So several years ago, the Pampered Chef came out with a glaze collection. So it's the same stone on the inside, it just has the dressier look on the outside. So if you're the type of cook that brings to the table, you might like the dressier. If you serve from your kitchen, you're fine with the original. And you'll notice in the catalog, almost every stone that has a side, you'll have a choice of the original or the glaze collection. So let's get back to the deep covered baker. It actually now has the nickname the Magic Pot, and I'm going to tell you why. When you come home from work at 6 o'clock at night and you have no freaking clue what you're going to make for dinner, or you have children and you come off the soccer field or baseball or dance and you either go through the drive-thru or worse yet, you come home, you eat a lean cuisine and they eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch and happens at everyone's house. This is what you're going to do instead of that. You are going to put a whole raw chicken in here, a raw chicken sitting on top of potatoes and carrots. You are going to put the lid on the chicken. You're going to put it in the microwave for 30 minutes. It is the most delicious, fall off the bone, golden brown chicken you ever ate in your life. I know what you're thinking. It's going to be gray, it's going to be rubber, it's going to be gross. I thought the same thing. I swear to you, I brought the chicken to 6 months worth of shows. We would make it, carve it up, the women would gasp because it goes in dry, just seasoned, and it comes out in 2 inches of fresh chicken broth. It is the most delicious, moist chicken you've ever eaten in your life. You're going to make chicken penne alla fresca in here, raw pasta. You don't boil it. You're going to throw the pasta in here, white wine, chicken broth, plum tomatoes. You are going to make barbecue ribs in here, pulled pork, a pork loin, Mexican chicken. I'm going to send you home with a cookbook this thick for free of recipes that you're going to make in here in 30 minutes or less. If you're sitting here saying, Sharon, I don't even own a microwave, there are people that don't even own a microwave. Half of the cookbook that I send you are oven-safe recipes. You can put this in the oven. Go out for 3 hours. Whatever you put in here, beef, pork, chicken, it turns your oven into a clay baker and everything self-marinates so everything falls off the bone and is so juicy and delicious. Let me tell you about this pan. It's $85. I always say if you're going to buy one thing, I'd rather you buy this because my job is to sell you something that's going to change your life in the kitchen. I want to sell you something that I know you're going to use. They were selling $70,000 a month. They were on stop sell because we all have good intentions. Everyone wants to cook, but most people don't have time. But because the recipes are 30 minutes or less, that takes care of that issue, and most people don't know how. But the recipes that I send you are so simple and easy that you're all going to be able to make them, and one is more delicious than the next. Let me tell you the return policy. Whatever you buy here tonight, they want you to use it for 1 month. Make 30 meals in here. If you don't love whatever you got, after 30 days, you call me up and say, Sharon, I hate what I got at Laura's party. They send you a prepaid mailing label. And you smack it on the box and you hand it to your mailman and they give you your money back. They mail you a refund or they credit your charge, however you paid. So the return policy is amazing. I promise you, this is back on the market again. It is the best investment in your kitchen that you will ever make. Okay, how do you take care of the stones? Whether you buy glazed or unglazed, big or little, I want you to know this so you know what to do when you get it delivered. This is the kitchen spritzer. You must season them the first 5 times that you use them. After that, no grease, no oil, no butter. They become a healthier way of cooking. I don't want you to use Pam. That's extremely unhealthy. This is so much better. You're going to unscrew this and you're going to fill it to the fill line with whatever oil you like, olive oil, vegetable oil, whatever you have in the house. Pump it, and all you're going to do is spray the stone the first 5 times. After that, no more grease, oil, or butter. It becomes a healthier way of cooking. How do you clean it? And I tell you this because most people don't even see it in the box. Every stone comes with a little brown scraper. That and hot water is all you use to clean it. You don't use soap, you don't use Brillo, you don't put it in the dishwasher. You're going to see that focaccia bread that we just put in the oven is going to lift right off. Nothing ever sticks on the stone because nothing ever burns. Remember the Corningwares and the Pyrexes? You'd always have to tackle them and deal with them the next morning with a Brillo pad. That's because everything in those pans stuck because it burnt. Because nothing ever burns on the stone, nothing ever sticks. So if there's anything on it, a flick of the scraper, you use hot water or the abrasive side of the sponge, and you're done. No more soaking, no more tackling. Any questions, girls, on the stones? I want you to be comfortable. Are we good? Okay, let me show you some of my favorite products. I want you to be honest with me. How many of you at home have pots and pans where your Teflon is peeling or flaking, you have lines in it? If you do, promise me you're going to go home and throw them out. That stuff is toxic. There was a whole thing on one of the, I think 2020 or one of those shows, you need to toss those pans. We sell 3 sets of cookware. This is our executive line. I am so in love with the executive cookware. Let me tell you why. It has a lifetime guarantee. So that means for the rest of your life, you're never ever going to buy another frying pan. They are made of hard anodized aluminum, reinforced with titanium alloy. What does that mean? Basically, that it's impossible to scratch them. The sides are paper thin. What that means is in the pots, the water boils in 1/3 of the time. They all have dripless rims. The handles do not get hot. They're made of silicone. And the best part about the cookware is it's bakeware. This goes in the oven to 400 degrees. I make a 12-inch birthday cake in here. Pour the cake batter, bake it in the oven. It's non-stick. The cake pops out. You frost it. I had a brunch. I made an 18-egg frittata. I didn't even know what a frittata was until I got this pan. I'm not a good cook. I sauteed mushrooms, peppers, onions. I threw in 18 scrambled eggs. It blew up beautiful. I popped it out. I sprinkled some shredded cheddar cheese. It was the most impressive looking thing on the table. We sliced it up like a cake. You can make a quick marinara sauce in here. 2 cans of crushed tomatoes. You don't need a pot to make a quick sauce. 2 cans of crushed tomatoes, some fresh garlic. I made a marinara sauce. What about a meat sauce? By the way, if you make a meat sauce or you have children and you make tacos, you have to buy this. It's $10.50. It's the mix and chop. How annoying is it to break up chopped meat or ground pork? Use the back of a spoon or a fork. Now, this is silicone. It won't damage your cookware. It turns your ground beef or your ground pork into dust. So I love this for a meat sauce. So that's the mix and chop. So you're going to make a meat sauce in here. Girls, you're also going to make 4 grilled cheese in here. What about, do any of you watch the Food Network? They're all about pan searing. Pork chops, 3 minutes on each side to lock in the juice and flavor, and then you finish it off in the oven. Or you can only pan sear if your cookware is oven safe. So this cookware is oven safe to 400 degrees. So I would never let you buy the 2 sets, and they come in a 5 and a 7-piece set. I'm going to tell you why I won't let you buy it. Because when you host a show, the moment I ring your doorbell and say, hello, you automatically get them for half price. So if you need pots, you have to have your own party. But in February, once a year, the cookware is the host special. If you host a show in February, the cookware is 60% off. So girls, if you need pots and pans, you have to have a party in February. Okay, so this pan you can buy separately. This happens to be the 12-inch skillet. It's $150. A lot of women say to me, Sharon, if I ever spent $150 on a frying pan, my husband would murder me. This is what I say. In my entire life, I've never bought anything for $150 that I could look you in the eye and tell you I'd have forever. You buy a pair of boots, you buy a jacket, you wear it a couple of seasons, you're done. This is an investment in your kitchen like the Magic Pot. This you will have forever. I always say you can keep going to Target every 3 months and buying a frying pan for $39, and in the 4th month it looks like it was run over by a truck. This you will have forever. That's what lifetime guarantee means. As long as you use it correctly, the Pampered Chef will replace it forever. So that's the 12-inch. I couldn't bring them all with me, but we have the grill pan, the griddle, the double burner griddle. We have the wok. This is another fabulous open stock piece, the 8-inch saute pan. Maybe every morning you have egg whites, or one of your kids has scrambled eggs, or an omelet, or 1 grilled cheese. So that's a great piece as well. And then we also sell the stainless steel. When you sell Pampered Chef, they give you everything. I have every piece of cookware. I love these. I don't love these as much as the executive, and I'm going to tell you why. Most professional chefs use stainless. If you watch Bobby Flay, Emerald, you will always see them use the stainless. These are fabulous. They have a lifetime guarantee. They come in a 5 and a 7-piece set, and they're also sold in open stock. And again, they have the lifetime. In the stainless, you can broil. They're also dishwasher safe. I personally love the executive because it's quick, fast, easy cleanup. What happens with the stainless, if you watch the Food Network, what sticks to the bottom of the pan is called a fond, F-O-N-D, and they make an elaborate sauce or gravy with that. I'm not that good of a cook, and most women that I meet, we all want quick, fast, easy cleanup. That's your executive. But if you're a gourmet cook or lucky enough to be married to one, most professional chefs use the stainless. And this is an amazing set of cookware as well. And then, girls, I didn't bring with me the third set, which is the ceramic, which just came out in September. I will tell you the ceramic only have a 3-year guarantee. I love them. No butter if you make scrambled eggs. I have to tell you, they're much reasonably priced. I'm actually selling them to a lot of young girls who are getting married who don't want to spend for the executive or the stainless, or people maybe my age who are saying, you know what, I'm not really cooking that much anymore. My pots are shot, but I don't want to spend on that. And the ceramic is only sold in open stock. So if you want to sample a piece of that and then come back to me later on and say, I love them, or upgrade to these, that's fine too. But the ceramic are fabulous, and they're much more moderately priced than these two. Any questions, girls, on the cookware? Are we comfortable with the pots? Okay, let me show you some of my favorite gadgets before I feed you. This I absolutely love. I used to talk about this just in the summertime, and then I said, you know what, we all entertain year-round, and when my friends and family would go home at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'd always look at the cheese, I'd look at the shrimp, I'd always worry that it was sitting out for hours, and I would dump everything. The way this works is, this is our cool and serve. You're going to keep these green pieces, if you have room, permanently in your freezer. Otherwise, you're going to put them in your freezer the day before you entertain. When you use them and pop them out of your freezer, they keep whatever you put on here ice cold for hours in your backyard. One side is 24 deviled eggs or 24 chocolate-covered strawberries. The flat surface is great for fresh mozzarella and tomato, or you put the dividers in. How gross does the dip look in 5 minutes on a hot summer day? This keeps the dip ice cold. You can do an antipasto, you can do a crudité, you can do a yogurt dip and fruit. I love that you can pop one side out, and you can put crackers or chips on this. It comes with the lid, which snaps right on, so if you're going to a barbecue or you're going to somebody's house, everything's chilled and ready to go. So that's the cool and serve. Love, love that. And then, girls, I want to show you this. This happens to be our manual food processor. This takes the place of that Cuisinart that everybody got when they got engaged or they had a shower, and it weighed 500 pounds. It cost a fortune, and it's usually on the top of your kitchen cabinet, and no one ever uses it. Never use it, exactly. This does the same thing that a Cuisinart does, except it has one blade. That's it. If you want to make vegetable tuna salad, who could ever be bothered with that? Cutting up broccoli, carrots, celery, onions. Honestly, I would go to Bagel Boss and spend $16 a pound. No. Now you're going to make it in here. My husband, who cooks nothing, uses this every day to make vegetable tuna salad. You're going to throw your vegetables in here. What about if you want to make chicken salad and you have leftover chicken? You're going to throw your chicken and your vegetables in here. What about if you want to make egg salad? Guacamole. You can make a salsa in here. Whoever made a salsa, I buy it at Costco. Now we have recipes from mango salsa and apple berry salsa with Stacy's cinnamon pita chips. You can make in here your salsas. You can make a tapenade. I didn't even know what a tapenade was until I got this. A jar of green olives, black olives, a can of black olives, garlic and olive oil. Absolutely delicious on a cracker. You can also make a bruschetta in here. I never made that. Now, 3 plum tomatoes, some fresh basil, garlic and olive oil. All you do is put the top on, and there's no battery. Unlatch it, put one hand here. That's it. That's the whole thing. This is the greatest kitchen gadget ever. So that is the manual food processor. And many of you may have the Pampered Chef's food chopper. This has been around forever. It's a staple in everybody's kitchen. I love my food chopper. But they are two different things. This is for many ingredients. This is for single ingredient chopping. I'll use this if I want to chop up an onion and your knife is dull and your eyes are tearing, or you want to chop up a handful of nuts. You stick whatever you want to chop. You hit it once, it cuts it. 2 times, it cuts a little more. The more you chop it, You cut up an entire onion, you don't shed a tear, it unscrews, it goes in the top rack of the dishwasher. So they are two different kitchen tools, and a little quick tip with this, you want to chop up something fine like nuts or herbs, leave the base on and chop right in here. So that's the food chopper, that's the manual food processor. And girls, let me show you this. This came out last year. It honestly should come with a warning. This is our new brownie pan. If you buy this, just like the Magic Pot, I'm going to send you a free cookbook, and the cookbook is actually on the table so you can take a look at all of the things that you can make in here. You know how everybody always wants the corner of the brownie? Well, now everybody's going to have their own corner, but this is so much more than a brownie pan. Have any of you ever had slutty brownies? Okay, chocolate chip cookie dough, the log of dough, or the break-apart one in the refrigerator section in the supermarket, a thin layer of chocolate chip cookie dough, 1 Oreo cookie, and a tablespoon of brownie batter. You bake it for 20 minutes. When it pops out of here, the bottom is the cookie, the Oreo turns to fudge, what? And then the top is the brownie. Ridiculously obscene, out of this world. If you like peanut butter, substitute the Oreo for a Reese's peanut butter cup, or you can do Rolos. You can make mini lasagnas in here, mini quiches, mini apple pies, and that cookbook will have all the different things that you can make in here. So that's our new brownie pan. And then, girls, I want to show you this. This, of course, is the Pampered Chef's Quick Stir Pitcher. I probably get the most calls back for this. Whether you drink Crystal Light, iced tea, iced coffee, regular orange juice, you always have to shake the Tropicana carton. This has a plunger. So whatever you have in here, you're just going to mix up the Crystal Light or the iced tea. This is the 2-quart. I love the 2-quart. We also sell the 1 gallon. The 1 gallon is great if you have a larger family, but it is heavy when you go to take it out if it's full. So that's the Quick Stir Pitcher. Girls, this happens to be our collapsible bowl. This is another product. Love, love this. When you look at this, it looks like a large chip and dip bowl. It's not. It holds 2 pounds of pasta, but how genius. Where would you keep this? So the fact that it collapses makes it so easy to store. It comes with the lid. This is the large. It was such a hot seller. They also have the small and the medium collapsible bowl. We also sell the matching utensils that you can serve with these with. And girls, this happens to be our silicone floral cupcake pan. When you look at this, I don't know if you can see, but it has 3 different flower designs. The only time I'm going to tell you not to use our kitchen spritzer is with this because the oil will pool. This you're going to spray with Pam. You're going to pour your brownie batter in here, your cupcake batter in here, and silicone is all the craze. Ours is much sturdier because it has a metal rim, so when you put this in the oven, it's not going to be flopping all over the place. So you're going to bake your cupcakes. When you pull them out, they push right through. You have a really pretty flowered cupcake. Well, you can't frost it because it's going to cover the flower design. So you either take a flour sugar shaker, or we sell the micro cooker. This is a great everyday bowl just for the microwave. I stress that because I cannot tell you how many women call me up and say, my husband melted it on the top of the stove. It's just for the microwave. And this is great, girls. It has the vented top. If you want to heat up sauce or gravy, instead of putting a paper towel on a bowl so it doesn't splatter in your microwave, this is great for that. It won't splatter. If you want to steam vegetables, you can steam the vegetables, drain the water. In the summertime, I'll open up a can of sauerkraut, drain the water. You can heat up a can of soup. But back to these. The cupcakes, you're going to take a bag of milk chocolate chips. You're going to melt the chocolate, 1 minute in the microwave. You have your pretty floured cupcake sitting on a plate. You're going to pour your milk chocolate. It's going to pool around it. Put a scoop of vanilla ice cream. It looks like it came out of Martha Stewart's kitchen. It was a big nothing. If you're sitting here saying, I don't make cupcakes anymore, how about follow the recipe for Jell-O Jigglers? You can make really pretty Jell-O flour dessert cups. If you'd like to have a successful party, you can make large Jell-O shots, Kristen, back there. So you know, okay? You didn't want to say it, so I did. Girls, you can also take 2 sticks of butter. You're going to put 2 sticks of butter in the micro cooker. 2 sticks of melted butter will fill 3 wells. Don't freeze the butter. Put it in the refrigerator. If you have a holiday, push this out. You have a really pretty butter pate instead of the ugly plain log of butter. And some woman that I met at a show said she uses a garlic press and presses some garlic, and if she's having an Italian meal, she makes a garlic butter to go with her meal. You could also, of course, put water in here, and you can freeze it and have really pretty ice cubes. You can also do a lot of other things in here. One of my other favorite recipes, and why I always wind up back at Weight Watchers, is take some vanilla ice cream and fill this well about 1/3 of the way. Go and take your chopper and chop up some Oreo cookies, nice and fine. Sprinkle that on top of the vanilla ice cream, and then go get your chocolate ice cream. Cap it off, put it in the freezer for 15 minutes so it all firms up. When you push it through, it's the prettiest vanilla Oreo chocolate flowered dessert cup. Hello. Okay, so that's the silicone floral cupcake pan. This is the micro cooker, and just so you know, girls, if you have a larger family, this also comes in the 2-quart micro cooker as well. And then, girls, let me just show you this. This happens to be, love this. You know when you make ravioli, you take out your colander. Whenever I would dump the ravioli, they would burst. No more colander. This is our scoop and drain. Scoop out the ravioli. If you're boiling broccoli, shrimp, if you're browning chopped meat, scoop it out and drain the fat. So I love the scoop and drain. And then, girls, this happens to be our salad chopper. You know how every bagel store, every deli will sell you a chopped salad for $8 a pound? Now you're going to make it yourself. Unlatch the red button. Throw everything in the bowl. Breast of white meat, chicken, whatever you want in your salad. Don't go this way. Turn your arm over. 2 seconds, you chop up the salad. The restaurant charges you $1 a plate if you ask them to chop it. The dressing in here is better. Everybody likes a chopped salad. So now 2 seconds right before I bring it to the table. So this is fabulous. Love this. And then, girls, this happens to be the Pampered Chef Smooth Edge Can Opener. I love this can opener. Most can openers go on vertically. Ours goes on horizontally. Turn it, turn it, turn it. You don't touch the can. It has 2 teeth and a button. Pop the top off, which is smooth. Throw it in the garbage. What I love about this is you don't ever have to wash the top of the can because it doesn't ever fall in your food. It pops off the top of the can. So that's the Smooth Edge Can Opener. Girls, this happens to be the Pampered Chef's Pizza Cutter. Professional pizza cutter, sharp all the way around. Love this. Has the protection for your thumb. Has the protective sleeve for your silverware drawer. These happen to be our knives. I'm very, very honest. These are probably the best knives that you will ever use. I'm going to tell you why. Like the cookware, these have a lifetime guarantee. A good knife, so you know, has no rivets. A good knife has one blade that runs all the way through. These knives are German forged steel. They are the sharpest knives you will ever use. This is the 3-inch. We have a 5-inch. For those of you that watch the Food Network, they all use the Santuco, which means dicing, chopping, and slicing. We have 2 size Santucos, the 5 and the 7-inch, and we have the carving knife. Girls, if you have a drawer like I did with a ton of knives and nothing cuts, dump them all and treat yourself to one good knife. You would be amazed. I never knew you could cut a tomato with anything other than a bread knife. I never had a sharp knife. These knives are like a razor. So they come with the protective sleeve for your silverware drawer, and they are amazing. This is our citrus press. I have to be honest with you. The first couple of years of my marriage, I had that fake lemon, that plastic lemon, on the 3rd shelf in my refrigerator. I thought that was fresh lemon juice. It's not. When we came out with this, I got to tell you, what a difference. Take a lemon or a lime, cut it in half, cut side down. When you use this citrus press, I can't tell you how much fresh lemon and lime juice you get, and it collects the pips for you. Love this, and if you're watching your weight, fresh lemon juice is such a great seasoning on chicken or fish, and it has no calories. So that's the citrus press. If you make a lot of margaritas, this is a beautiful thing too. Okay, girls, let me show you this. These are the Pampered Chef Chef Tongs. Rachel Ray had a show on. She said that there are 10 gadgets that every kitchen should never be without, and one of them were tongs. And she said she stores her tongs on her oven door because if she tries to put them in her silverware drawer, they open and they jam. So I was going to her show, and I said I'm going to bring her the Pampered Chefs as a nice little present because look how fabulous ours are. When you hold them upright, they lock. When you turn them over, they open. Up they lock, and down they open. They have the silicone on the bottom, so when you saute in a non-stick piece of cookware, you're not going to damage the cookware. And if you notice on the Food Network, they never use a fork. They always use tongs. So these tongs are great. You can also serve pasta with them, salad. So I brought them to Rachel Ray as a nice little gift, but she was so mean I took them home. But that's another story. Okay. Not very nice. Not nice. I'll share with you. Girls, let me show you these. These happen to be our kitchen shears. Every kitchen should have a great set of shears. I'm going to tell you why. These are so sharp. They're stainless steel. They will never rust. You unlatch the back. They go through a chicken. They go through a lobster. If you get a delivery from the UPS men, they will cut the box. Some woman I met said she weeds in the backyard with them. Whatever. But they are the kitchen shears. They're fabulous, and they come with the protective sleeves. So I love them. And then, girls, the last thing I'm going to show you before I feed you happens to be our new restyled ice cream dipper. If you have the old one that was never dishwasher safe, this one now has been restyled. You can put it in the dishwasher. It has an ergonomical handle, which means it's very easy and comfortable to use. So that's our ice cream dipper. And then let me tell you one last thing. Every month, the Pampered Chef has a guest special. You guys are the guests. This month, you will get a free spatula if you spend $60 before tax and shipping, which happens fast at a Pampered Chef party. I will tell you that you will love the spatulas because they are made of silicone. What that means is you can leave them in your frying pan. They will never melt. They will never burn. You could submerge them in red sauce. They come out brand new in the dishwasher every time. You will have a choice of 3 different sizes, the large mix and scraper, the small mix and scraper, and the mini mix and scraper. I actually have one of this is a couple of years ago, so the color is now white, but this is our medium mix and scraper. But they are fabulous. Girls, if you have the Rubbermaids or those other ones at home where they're cracked, stained with sauce, the handle comes off the top, get rid of them, and you will absolutely love ours. Girls, does anyone have any questions on any of the products? Are we comfortable? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this magic pot and I'm going to take this absolutely incredible molten lava cake and I'm going to put it in the microwave uncovered for 13 minutes. And just so you know, this is 1 box of Devil's Food Cake Mix. Threw in the dry cake batter. Follow the ingredients on the box. Eggs, oil, and water. I didn't even dirty a mixing bowl. I whisked it with one of our stainless steel whisks. And then all I did was take 1 can of chocolate frosting. It could be any kind of chocolate, milk, dark, classic. It just cannot say whipped because whipped dries up in the microwave. And all I did was plop the entire can of frosting right on top. I didn't even mix it, and that's going to be the molten lava. So I'm going to stick it in the microwave, and when I come back, you're going to cry. That's how delicious this is. Great.
How long does it
Perfect.
have to be in the
I'm going to go and check the focaccia bread right now.
I was just curious, my oven's pretty,
Cut.